Andrew McCART, IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm here at Engage Boxing with the owner, Billy Nelson. Billy, you've got a brand new gym here, you've moved premises, your house is like half a mile down the road. I take it this is better for you?
Oh, it's a lot better for me. It feels more like a gym and a home for me rather than the last place. I was there, I was accommodating other people for their needs rather than my needs and my fighters' needs, so this is ideal for me.
Well, let's jump straight into it then. Your fighters, John Joyce is a new guy you've just brought on there. He's, again, a lot of people might not have seen what he was like in amateur. He's obviously well decorated. You've had him for a week now, and all this. So what can you expect from John leading? I know you've managed trained some decent, very good fighters, not decent fighters, but very good fighters.
The best in Scotland,
exactly.
In Scotland.
So what can we expect from John?
Well, for what I've seen already, he's got a fantastic boxing brain. You know what I mean? A really superb boxing brain. He's very heavy-handed in both hands, and he's a southpaw. So he's got a lot.
Nobody likes a southpaw.
He's got a lot. Nobody likes southpaws that can punch, but he's got that boxing brain to match as well. So you know, he's got a lot of things that people will not want to face.
Well, I met you in Manchester, right, with John and all that. I didn't want to talk about that, but seeing the way his amateur career's panned out, and he's very decorated. I always ask this question because I'm always intrigued by it. It's like how do you match somebody with that so much success in amateur? I've asked John this himself. Do you fast track him? Do you put him with opponents who are lively rather than journeymen who just come to survive, or do you build him up slowly because he is still young?
I mean, John's lucky in the respect that he's fought, you know, multiple different styles. So, irrespective of who he fights in his debut or his first few fights, they're not going to have a style that he's probably not fought against or seen. Although he's only 21, you could say that now John's probably the equivalent of somebody with 8-0, 10-0. 8-0 anyway, certainly. But we'll gauge it. You know, you can't say, oh, we're going to fast track him if he doesn't pick up the professional side of the sport quicker. But before what I've seen the first few days, he will be. So I'm not going to say we're going to fast track it. It'll be a team decision. Ultimately, who he fights will be his decision. He'll take advice from me as his coach and his manager, and the rest of his team. But the most important person in the whole scenario is the boxer, and they'll have the biggest say who and when he fights.
So how many fights are you looking for this year then?
We'll have 6 fights between now and this time next year.
This time next year, so 6 fights in a year.
That's plenty, because the biggest part of his development will be in here, in this setting in the gym, sparring on the pads, listening to what's been said, and taking that into sparring, which will then in turn take it into fights.
Good stuff. I'm definitely looking forward to that journey, and you better get used to my face, so there'll be many more interviews to come. Another young fighter in your stable who I know quite well, because he was, as an amateur, he was down at Loch End and that, and I'm really excited about the young man because I think he's a very solid fighter. He's very good, and it's Craig Morgan. For the people that don't know, Craig was meant to be here. You text him, did an interview with me, but he's not here. For the people that don't know about Craig, can you just enlighten them a little bit?
Craig had about 77 fights and only lost about 7. They were primarily in the youth level as well. Very skillful fighter. He's coming on leaps and bounds. He's had a few niggles. He's only a young guy. He's 19. Big ticket seller. Huge big ticket seller.
Fight for it.
I mean, I think he done 10 grand in his debut.
Wow.
98 £100 ringside tickets he done. Phenomenal. That's
a promoter's dream.
The promoter's like that. Whee! Craig's like that, counting his. So we managed. He's on. He's very lucky and grateful to be on Danny Vaughan's MTK show on March 22nd,
yep.
At the Emirates Arena. As is David Brophy for the gym. I'm looking forward to seeing him back into action again. I'm sure he'll be getting something bigger later in the year. I mean, with regards to David, if it wasn't for bad luck, he'd have no luck.
Aye.
I mean, the injuries that boy's getting is unreal. But you know, he's a wee bit down about it at times, but he just try to keep his head above water and plod away, and hopefully his niggles will clear up in time for his title shots. But with regards to Craig Morgan, I think this boy's got an excellent chance if he'll dedicate himself, but if he can focus and remain professional.
He's still young, isn't he?
He's only 19. He's not even. I don't think he's even 28 September or something like that.
Right.
So he's got plenty of time. I think he had his first fight maybe June last year for me. He's had 3 since, and his second fight he boxed exceptional against a rugged, tough opponent. I was a wee bit cautious about taking the opponent. I thought, well, we'll put him in, and he boxed beautifully. I think the better the opponent, the better you'll see of Craig. You know, as I'm sure you're aware, and any boxer will tell you, it's hard to look at good against somebody that doesn't want to fight you.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of what my question was about John. Like, God, obviously the way he is as well, John Joyce. Like, how do you match him? You don't want a guy that just comes in with his hands up and just pinging shots at him, you know.
But he's got the variety of shots that, you know, and he's a hurtful puncher.
Yeah. So again, Craig Morgan. Like, you don't take any fighter on just for the sake of taking a fighter on. Like, you would bring them in here, assess them, blah blah blah,
and then
blah.
give him an
exactly.
answer.
So, what did you see in Craig that you thought, this is the guy I want to
very
fight?
crisp, sharp puncher, who you could imagine in 3, 4, 5 years' time when he gets his man strength will punch really, really quite hard. You know, and he's got that skill set for the amateurs. He's got fundamental mistakes, as most amateurs have when they turn over, and you just try and correct them. He has improved already quite considerably. We've got some good sparring lined up for him as well.
Good stuff.
More experienced guys, which I think is very important for him. You know, I've got Ryan Collins is going to come up and give him a spar.
Right, yeah.
Great wee fighter, great wee person. He's agreed to come up and do some sparring.
Well,
and a nice guy. Who, by the way, he's one of these guys that he's won some, he's lost some, he's won more than he's lost. But this wee guy, Ryan, is willing to travel the length and breadth of the country for good sparring, and I can only admire people like that.
Good.
There's too many pros sit in their own gym, in their comfort zone, and don't improve. Way too many.
Good. You touched on David Brophy. I spoke to Brophy a couple of weeks back. He mentioned the British title. You're obviously his trainer. You echo that as well. You think he's got to make an assault on the British title this year?
100%. He's more than capable of beating
Zach Parker.
Zach Parker. That'll be Zach Dunn and Zach Parker, who he could potentially beat for the British and Commonwealth titles.
Zach.
So I mean, Zach Parker's a fine fighter. I don't. And under any circumstances, did you see the best Parker against, was it Williams?
Daniel Williams, yeah.
And that last fight because of his injury. But you've not seen the best of David Brophy yet. You know,
his injury, I suppose, eh?
Listen, what one are we talking about? You know, it's a bloody shame. It really is. The amount of injuries is unreal.
You've got another Scottish fighter that's come and seen you, Jason Easton. I don't know how much you can talk about. It's well documented why he lost his licence, especially in Edinburgh. It's well documented. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that and how far ahead is Jason in getting renewing that licence so he can get back fighting?
I'm in talks with the British Boxing Board and Control as we speak, and I'm sure the meeting's next Wednesday, and we asked if we could get the licence back last month, but there were certain conditions attached to why they said no on that occasion. They've been rectified, and we're very, very hopeful that they may allow him to get his licence back a week on Wednesday.
Quite soon then. Well, that's what I was expecting anyway.
Well, I mean, he had 250 hours community service to do. I think he's done the guts of 200. He'll have paid the full compensation back to the guy.
Could you just explain what happened? There's a wee altercation in there.
Unfortunately, it hit somebody.
Yeah.
And he got found guilty of whatever charge he was charged with, and he get 250 community hours and £500 compensation to the young person. Full of remorse, you know. It's shite what he done. I mean, it's terrible what he done. And there's no, very valuable lesson learned. You know, and I mean, he's been told under no certain manner that anything that he does, anything like that again, I'll be washing my hands of him. But he's been in this gym and he's looking $1 million.
He's a Celtic champion, IBO Intercontinental champion, and just 10 fights, I think it was. Then he lost a very, very close fight against Glenn.
Well, it wasn't so close. It wasn't so close.
But fight, I should say then.
It was a hard fight that he never turned up in. Some boxer, I mean, any boxer will tell you. See, some nights, see if it's not there, it's not there. And on that night, it wasn't there. Glenn's a strong man, good fighter, and a good champion. I would have thought, me personally, 8 out of 10 times, if they fought, I would expect Jason Easton to win. But he's in a different place now. He appears to be in a happier place.
Right.
With Gary Young and myself. And he's punching harder. He's punching harder. He's made certain tweaks to his training. There were certain things, I mean, there was things that I wasn't happy with that was happening in his training. And I questioned him. And but I'm not one to override his old trainer, but you know, I thought it was wrong, and he's changed these things, and you can see the difference a mile away.
Good. Well, I can't let you go, Billy, without talking about the big man. Everyone loves a heavyweight. Big Martin Bakole. When's he coming back? And when can we see him in a fight? I think everyone's wanting to know.
His application for his new visa will be made on Monday, Friday or Monday, and he'll be back over here, and there'll be some very big news regarding him in the next. Is
this in terms of a big fight or the title or what can you tell me?
I can't. But I can't really elaborate now because I've gave somebody my word that I won't do it, and I won't do it. But you know, hopefully there will be some one way or another. There will be good news on him very shortly.
Well, you've come out publicly said that he's going to be a world champion, and that minor setback against Michael Hunter.
Major setback.
Yeah. Are you still fully confident in this young man becoming a world champion, especially in this heavyweight division now?
I'm very I'm confident. I know the ability this man's got. It's undoubted. I've had Anthony Joshua on the phone saying, what happened? Peter Fury, great man that he is, he texts me straight after the fight and says, what happened there? He says, that's a potential world champion that was in my gym 10 days ago.
I think you told me off camera, and I think, yeah. So.
If I told you about it, you know, if I mention it
I'd
publicly,
get no views.
But it's just the way it happened. It was inappropriate for somebody to phone him regarding something, and that affected his mindset, and his mind was screwed going into it, and he never told me until the next day. But you know, it's done. It's over and done with. He's got to rebuild, get 2 quick wins, and Andy, on my heart, he'd fight anybody in Britain. Anybody.
You still after that Joe Joyce?
Fight Joe Joyce tomorrow.
Because Sam Jones, you and Sam Jones have a great banter on that Twitter.
I'm friends with Sam Jones. I speak to Sam Jones every week over in America on WhatsApp, message and call. Sam's a brand new guy. We'd have took that. Well, if he was back in the country, we'd have took that fight on the 23rd of February. You know, Sam's tongue in cheek saying I would get the jail if Martin. Believe me, he wouldn't get a jail if he went in the ring with Joe Joyce. Yeah. Joe Joyce is a good fighter. I think he's slow and punderson, but
styles make fights.
He's a strong physical man who will be there. But I've seen him getting knocked out. You know, with Kuzmin, Kuzmin, I think his name is, the Russian who stopped David Price. And did he look $1 million against Price? Because big David Price was hitting him quite handily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the thing with that, if Joe Joyce and Martin Bakole were to fight, I'd probably be more interested in you and Sam Jones going back and forth than the fight.
Listen. It would. Let me tell you, it'd be a great fight.
So obviously, big plans for your stable going forward. I mean, you've got 2 young fighters in John Joyce and Craig Morgan. You've got David Brophy hopefully making an assault on the British title. Jason Easton coming back and getting his licence suspended. Big Martin Bakole coming back to the heavyweight scene. So. Seems you're going to have a busy year ahead. Well,
I've got Gary Young here as well, being my assistant trainer now. I felt as if I took I trained him. I trained him for his first 15 fights, and 14 wins and a loss. If and Gary knows the way I train, so which helps. But I wouldn't have took other fighters on if I hadn't arranged somebody to assist me in the gym, because each boxer needs quality time.
So, big year ahead, and
hopefully.
looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it anyway.
Me too, I mean, this man here.
I'm just panicking. He's obviously camera shy, right? So I'm just going to show you everybody. There he is there. John Joyce. You got anything else to say?
I'm the boss.
I'm the boss.
The boss. What he is a fine fighter who, through time and progression, will become a very, very good fighter. And he's telling me he's going to win a world title, which is,
that's what you want to hear.
Of course you do.
Perfect. Well, Billy, I always enjoy my interviews with you when you can give me your time, because I know you're not a busy man, you just don't like me. That's the vibe.
Well, that's the other thing, No.
Again, Billy, thanks very much, my man. I appreciate it for this, Phil TV. Thank you.